So we're out driving to the Chilterns for our constitutional. Ooh. And yeah, can't even see myself, so I don't know whether, yeah, I'm there. Yeah, we're going for a walk, see how spring is progressing in the countryside. A couple of you asked me to do video while I'm walking around, so here I am, I'm walking. Bluebells aren't out yet, but there are a few, just a few. So we're at Aston Rowand, which is a nature reserve, and we're just about to come to a lookout which looks over the whole of the countryside. Such a beautiful lookout here, it really is. So dramatic. I'm hoping that you can see all of this. Oh yeah, you can. The trees are getting their leaves. Got the patchwork quilt of the countryside of Buckinghamshire and Oxfordshire, looking over to Gloucestershire and Wiltshire. Why has somebody written plop? What does that mean? So it's rather lovely. That noise disappears when we get round to the other side of the hill. Such an expansive view. Thank you. We're getting to the top of the hill. And as we get to this area, the noise drops. Then we get to the area with the very odd landscape, covered in ant hills. I hope you can hear me, there's a bit of breeze. It's the M40 stretching off into the distance. Here's the odd landscape with the ant hills, which apparently are native to this area. Amazing, isn't it? So let's carry on. It's getting breezier because we're on the top of the hill here. So I do hope you can hear me. I have to be careful because there's lots of little holes that have been dug out by rabbits. And one doesn't want a broken ankle or a sprained ankle up here. No. We're well and truly away from the sound of the motorway, and look at this beautiful blossom behind me. We're in the woodland. It's very peaceful. Hardly anybody. We haven't actually seen anybody yet, even though there were quite a few cars parked at one of the car parks. So yeah, it's lovely to be wandering
through the woods on our own. Interesting this time of year, because it still feels sort of like winter, with the trees being still bare. So here we are in Aston Wood, which is where there will be a carpet of bluebells in the next couple of weeks. Aren't we fortunate to be able to do this of a Thursday morning without having to worry too much about time, and just take our time. Those trees, amazing, just look fantastic. So you can just see, I don't know whether you can make out, but this is a bluebell carpet, which in the next couple of weeks will be completely blue, purpley blue. I was just saying to Paul, it's just so beautiful today. So we're walking back now. We're going to retrace our steps, make our way back to the car. Good afternoon. It's Saturday. Saturday afternoon, we filmed Sunday Chat. We have had our lunch. I spent the morning working from about 7:30 through to 11. Then I had a little break, did a couple of more bits of work. Then we filmed Sunday Chat. Then we had lunch. I've just had a little break and now it's time to go back to work. Yeah, it's the weekend, but we're working. So the only thing that really concerns me is that I don't seem to have spare time to do other things at the moment, because I'm really concentrating on the social media side of things. And I think I have this thing where I need to get into a flow in order to feel satisfied with what I'm doing. I don't seem to be able to do short bursts of work and then walk away and go back to it. I like to get into a flow, and I think that says more about the need for my brain to feel as though it's in a state of flow, which is where you're really absorbed in the task and you feel good about it. I think I sort of crave that. And it's not always a good thing, because I'm neglecting certain things. You know, I've neglected my housework a little bit this week. The place is by no means a tip, but the garden needs to be given some attention, although I don't normally touch the garden until May. There are some repairs that need to be done that I'm capable of doing. So yeah, you know, I need to sort of reassess the balance of tasks and the, you know, assignment of time to those tasks. And it's only really the sort of social media side of things that I sort of am determined to sort of stick at and get into a flow with. The rest of the stuff, I can do several things at the same time very often. So I need to sort of think about that and think about how I address it and how I shift things around. There's also practical reasons as well. You know, I'll be sort of wearing pajama-like clothes around the house, and then I've got to get changed to go outside, because I don't really want to be wearing my pajamas outside to do other things. And also, it's a practical thing. I don't want my indoor clothes to get dirty. So it's things like that. I think, oh God, I've got to get changed. Silly little things that sort of sometimes prevent you from moving forwards with something, you know. I think it's all called being human at the end of the day. Don't think anybody's perfect in any way, shape or form. But I think it's good to acknowledge these quirks. Some would say flaws. I say quirks. These quirks that we all have, you know. Sorry, I'm just looking at the beautyberry bush, which has just started to leaf up. It's a little later than the other shrubs. Yeah, just starting. I'm glad it's alive. So yeah, the weather is set to continue to be fine. We were expecting some rain, but apparently not until after Easter. So Easter is next weekend. So tomorrow I do actually plan to go out into the garden, because it's green waste collection day on Monday. So I want to get what green waste we have got in bags and trugs in the garden into that bin, and then do a little bit of gardening. Yeah. There's also that pergola that I need to measure up, because I need to try and fix that broken strut. Yeah. You see, when I start to talk about these things, it actually makes it feel a little overwhelming sometimes, when it's not, you know. They aren't particularly big jobs. I've also got to sort out the waste pipe from the washing machine, which appears to be leaking, I noticed the other day. There's always something, isn't there? Anyway, the one thing I've got to get back to is continuing with the coffee shop. So coffee.com/Richard and Paul. Anybody can visit the shop. You don't have to be a supporter. You can browse the images if you wanted to, if you wanted just to look at them. But they're £2.50 for a digital download, which can then be used for whatever you personally want to use it for, i.e. for personal use, not commercial use, because they're copyrighted to me, all of the images. But you could use them to make a card for somebody, you could use them to make a calendar for yourself, a piece of artwork, it could be printed out. Most of the files are quite large files, which means they will blow up quite well onto canvas, for example, which you could do for your own use in your home. And I think they're all a bargain at £2.50, considering the amount of work that's gone into them over the years. But I just felt as though, they were pointless sitting on my computer. At the very least, people can browse through them and enjoy them on the coffee shop anyway, because they're all great images. But yeah, I've had a few sales already. I'm really pleased by that. It's just another, albeit small, income stream, but it's an income stream, which I'm always grateful for, because at the end of the day, this is work. This is work. So yeah, just wanted to let you know about that. Again, I know I'm pushing it, but you've got to sell your own stuff, haven't you? So I've got to go upstairs now and continue with that, because I want to get a few more categories added. Go and have a look and see what categories there are. There are quite a few photos there already, but I want to bring quite a good selection to you. So I'm going to finish some more work on that now. And I've also got to put Sunday chat together too. So I'll see you later. Morning, it's Sunday morning. It's a changeable morning weather-wise. It's a little breezy with some grey cloud coming in. But I'm currently in the front room for a reason. We're setting up to do a little photo shoot. It's time to rebrand the channel and introduce a new photo of Richard and Paul. So I have to partially close the blinds to control some of the light, but I use this reflector. As you can see, if I sit down here, you'll see that it's reflecting light into the sofa area. So it brightens it up a little bit and gives a little bit of natural light. Got my tripod here. I'm going to be putting the camera on there. And we're going to be doing a mixture of shots. So there'll be a sort of close-up portrait with the background blurred. There will be some longer shots, some wider shots, maybe a couple of humorous shots. So we'll see how that goes. But I'll be putting a light in here. In fact, I need to get the light from the other room. And at some point today, I need to do some housework because, yeah, things everywhere. Here's the light. The studio light on its lovely stand. Paid for by our coffee supporters. So, in fact, I could do with another one of those at some point. This is going to point towards the sofa, like that. And then the lamps here and over here will be on to add an extra warmth. So yeah, that's what we're up to this morning. Yeah. And Gillian, you asked me about it just before I was about to start setting up. So yeah, I've been thinking about it for a while. I mean, the channel needs a rebrand once in a while, and I've got super long hair on the photographs. So, and so has Paul. So it's time to give it a refresh and a new look. So I'm quite sure by the time you see this that I'll have processed the photos and changed all the images on our social media. So yeah, so I hope it goes well. I'll be using my tablet as a remote control. It links to my camera, so I'll be able to see the shot. I won't have to keep getting up, framing the shot and setting a timer. Hopefully I'll be able to do it all from the tablet with the camera pointed at us. So yeah, so there are some slight technical things that have to be dealt with. But yeah, should be fun. Photo shoots aren't always fun because there's a certain amount of, well, you have to sort of try things out, test things out, test the shots, check them, check they're in focus, check the lighting, check for shadows, all of that kind of thing. But I don't want them to look too manufactured. I want them to sort of look like we're just on the sofa filming Sunday Chat and we just happen to have got some really good shots. But that's not how it always works. So, hey ho. So I'll see you later. Wish us luck. Oh, I just popped in to blow my nose and take my coat off because I've been outside. I've got my sunglasses on, but it is actually quite damp and cool and grey. But I find it bright, so I find these very old sunglasses now, good few years old, but the prescription's okay. Yeah, I find they help. So I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Let me just put my gloves back on. Sorry. I know this is terrible filming this phone camera, but hey. So let me turn you around. So I'm currently clearing the patio of weeds. As you can see, the garden is looking rather full. I'll just give you a quick view. Hold on. Let me just bear with me. That's better. So you can see this area here is something in my mouth. Probably a creature. But yeah, everything's looking very full. Look at the forget-me-nots and the long grass. There we are. Looking very pretty. I still need to put this one in the ground. The forsythia is almost over. This is a hypericum, which is looking rather big and beautiful. None of my tulips at the back here are coming up. The magnolia is alive, but it hasn't flowered. And I don't think it's going to flower. Let's see. The dwarf lilac is trying to flower. Oh, a little bluebell down there. Oh, that's sweet. Very pale. Ferns are coming up. This is the Californian lilac, which will be in flower soon. The rose, the white rose is doing well here. Ferns are coming up. They're big. I mean, you can see here. And this whole area is covered in violets, dandelions and forget-me-nots. The orange rose is recovered from its heavy prune. It's this one here. And this one has finished flowering and giving its little fruits. I'm not sure what it's called. I think it's a skimmia. Yeah, so there's lots of tidying to be done. Yeah, I'm just making a start on the patio just to really tidy up. But I have done some work around the side of the house. So, you know, I mentioned that there's a pipe that's leaking. Well, this is said pipe. It's a join, and I had that sort of black tape around it. That had failed, so I removed the tape and I've siliconed it around here and pushed it back together, and I'm hoping that that will hold for a while. So I've started work on this bush, but I need some new telescopic shears to finish that. This is junk corner, stuff that needs to be gotten rid of. And I've also tidied the driveway. Yeah, I've tidied this section of the driveway and put these 3 plants here. There was an old rug here. I've got rid of it, ripped it up, so it's looking a lot better. Once I've got rid of all this stuff that shouldn't be here, I'd like to put a little table and a chair, some pot plants, something on the windowsill, just to pretty it up. Because it is a very shady corner around here. Paul needs to get rid of this piece of metal, which is apparently a table. I also need to do the windows as well. So I'm going to get on with my stuff. There's really not much to see. I'm just going to be picking all these bits up and doing some weeding. And then I think I'll probably carry on tomorrow. Yeah, lots to be done. So I'm done for today. I'm not sure what time it is. What time is it? 5:15. Yeah, I'm done. I've done enough. But I've achieved a couple of objectives that I really wanted to sort out. I wanted to fix that, hopefully fix that pipe. It needs replacing. The whole pipe run along there needs replacing, but that's for a plumber to deal with because, well, maybe I could do it, I don't know. Yeah, and I've cleared the side, started on the bush, started on the patio. So yeah, I think that's good. And I feel good about that. Yeah, I'm glad that I've kind of started to get the garden kind of ready for the new season. So at least I can sit in the garden without thinking, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that, and the grass needs cutting. Can't cut the grass today because it's too damp, but I will be getting my little mini chopper out to do it, my rechargeable chopper, which I find is great for our small amount of grass. You know, there's hardly any. It's just a path, really. But yeah, I'm pleased. And then tomorrow, hopefully I can do the windows as well and the windowsills. You can't do it all in one day. So I'll see you tomorrow. Morning. It's Monday morning. It's about 8:30, I think. And I just had to throw a whole bowl of bran sticks away. I fancied some maple syrup on them. These are the little all bran, you know, breakfast cereal, which I love actually, and it keeps me regular. And I fancied a little bit of maple syrup, poured it over, and then realised that the maple syrup had gone off, and my bran sticks were now covered in a grey mould. Good job I spotted them. So yeah. So I then had to throw the whole thing away. What a waste. Hey, but then I had a very small bowl, so I've just had a tiny breakfast. I'll be starving by 10:30. I used to take a packed lunch to work many, many years ago, and I'd eaten it all by 10 o'clock every day. Yeah. I could eat 10 meals a day if left to my own devices. So, more gardening is on the cards for this morning. It's a beautiful day, beautiful morning. Quite cold first thing. We had a little bit of a frost. So, but blue skies, cloudless sky at the moment, although I think the cloud might bubble up later. And they're saying we could have a shower, but hey, so I want to try and get out this morning, get the grass done. I've got my little cutter chopper thing on charge at the moment. And that should give me enough just to give the grass a trim, to neaten it up. Yeah, a couple of things I wanted to talk about. Filming, camera, mobile phone. So, as you know by now, this is on my mobile phone, and somebody mentioned very nicely, I have no problem with this comment at all, that they found it difficult to watch because of the shaky footage. So I hold my hands up. With the mobile phone, it is terrible. I mean, you know, if I just move it gently, it shakes. And when you're walking, it shakes. And that's just a small amount. You know, there's very little I can do with this phone, which is quite an old Samsung. It doesn't have stabilization. The later models do, but I didn't buy this phone as a video camera for the video camera. We bought it because it was inexpensive and, you know, it did what it needed at the time. But I totally agree. Some of my camera phone footage is appalling. I'm really bad at it because of the lack of a stabilization feature on the phone. The next phone I buy, which frankly could be years, will hopefully have stabilization in it. I certainly know that the phone I used to use at work, I was looking at that one day and that had very good video stabilization built in. So I do apologize about that. Now, some of you might be saying, but what about your camera? Could you not film yourself on the camera? So, good point. My camera's got excellent built-in stabilization. However, it would have to be held at arm's length because the lens is different. Mobile phone lenses are a sort of wide angle, good all round lenses. I do have a super wide angle lens, but it sort of compresses everything in the center, so things look a bit strange. It's heavy, so if I was holding it at arm's length, which I'd have to get the equivalent of this, I could only do that for probably 30 seconds without my arm giving out, because the camera is bigger, it's heavier, and it's got a big heavy lens on it as well. So I could do it for a very, very short space of time, but I couldn't walk around with it doing that. It would be too fiddly. I'd also run the risk of dropping the camera. It cost me nearly £2,000, that camera. So yeah, with the lens. So unfortunately doing that, unless I bought myself a gimbal, which again is expensive to buy, that might make it easier for me. I may have to invest in one. Let's put it that way. I'll have to look into it, but they aren't cheap. So I do take your point on board about the shaky mobile phone footage. I am sorry to all of you about it, but there's very little I can do. I mean, look, you know, you can see how it easily shakes. I'm just moving my hand and it shakes. So it's really, really hard to keep it steady. So I'll try my best. Okay. So I just wanted to mention that and address that. So yeah, Monday. Time to get on and do stuff, I think. So let's go out and have a look. So I filled 3 bags, 3 trugs full of stuff. I think it looks a little bit different to how it looked yesterday. So I've paid attention to this area down here. Just left a few forget-me-nots, given it a brush, and got rid of all the dead leaves. Pulled everything out from this area. Done a little bit of weeding over here. My geraniums are coming back, but my pinks appear to have died. So I've edged it very roughly. I've scraped it, got rid of most of the weeds, given it a water and put some fresh seed down. So I'm hoping that that will encourage it to come back. But yeah, I'm pleased. It's been hard work. I've worked my arse off today, actually. So there we are. The garden's starting to get there. Starting to look better. So that's today for you. Yeah. Whoa. I feel really achy now. God, gardening. Bizarrely, I've actually quite enjoyed it. And I think, oh, I'm a bit cold and my hands are frozen. The temperature has definitely dropped today. I think the reason why I've enjoyed doing this piece of work, which is my usual yearly tidy up, big tidy up before summer starts, which I usually do in April or May. You've seen it before. And I think the difference is that I've been able to do the gardening without thinking, oh God, I've got work tomorrow. I'm going to be sat at work and be absolutely shattered, you know? So I don't have that, you know. If I'm absolutely shattered tomorrow, which I won't be, but if I am, I can say, well, I'll take it easy. You know? It's normally the day after the next day when I feel it, especially in my legs. But I've worked the whole day. I mean, I've worked out all day. There's so much stretching, hand work, lots of hand work. My hands got a little bit tired at one point. I did feel like giving up at one point as well. I thought, no, this is it. I've had enough. I thought, no, just keep on pushing through. Have some lunch, push through. And I did. And it's now, I think, 4:45. Alexa, what's the time?
The time is 4:49 p.m.
There we go. So it's been a good full day. And I'm pleased. I'm pleased. The only thing I'm not kind of pleased with is the hazel. We cut the hazel back because the neighbours complained that they weren't getting full sun in their garden. And now I realise when I'm sat on the patio, I'm overlooked by their extension. So I knew there was a reason why I was keeping the hazel big, because it was giving us privacy. That's annoyed me a little bit. I don't like being overlooked. That's why we grew everything up, you know. I'm not going to cut it back again. And it will grow. Hazels grow like crazy once they get going. So, yeah, I'm not cutting it back again. I want my privacy and I shall tell them that. Yeah, I'm really pleased with all of that work. I feel as though I've really achieved stuff. And I think if you rewind, I said a couple of days ago that I felt as though I wasn't getting stuck in with housework. Now I feel as though I've got stuck in and done things that really needed to be done. And the other piece of good news is the pipe that I fixed is holding. Oh, that's great. I put a wash on this morning. I did a 60-degree towel wash. It was a lovely balanced load. Just being nosy. Yeah, it was a lovely balanced load. The spin, it spun, can't think of words, really well. So that didn't leak at all. That was great. Very, very happy with that. So yeah, I feel contented with today's work. And it also means, I mean, there's still quite a few bits and pieces that need to be done. Some cutting back of certain shrubs to allow more light in. But what was I going to say? Oh yeah, I can, brain is tired now. I can sit outside, and as long as I'm, not in full view of the neighbours, there is a couple of places I can sit without being viewed. I can relax out there, not thinking, oh, I must do that. I know the grass needs doing and blah, blah, blah. That's done. And we're due rain. And that's kind of one of the motivators that really got me going, because I wanted to get some grass seed down, just get the lawn ready to receive rain, because whenever we receive rain in spring, things put on a crazy growth spurt. So it's now ready for that, and the seed will really bed in. The temperatures hopefully will hold up. So within a couple of weeks, there should be a new lawn. And I've overseeded, and I'll overseed again probably in a few weeks, just to give it a really good chance of a nice lawn for the summer. It's a shady lawn, so it's a difficult one, but it is possible, and it's a shady seed that I'm using. So that's it. That's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. It's Tuesday morning, and we have had rain overnight. Which is exactly what I was hoping for. And the smell is incredible, because this is the first significant rain that we've had in a long time. And there is a very intense, fresh smell in the air. It's really pleasant. It's so gorgeous out there, so lovely and fresh. Feeling cool though. And they are forecasting apparently thundery showers, but there is a grey blanket of cloud at the moment, so it doesn't look particularly stormy. And I've checked the lightning map, and there's been no strikes as far as I can tell. Certainly not in this area. But I'm sat in the dining room because it's pretty dim, actually. Grey, dim, and feeling very damp, but beautifully fresh. So what's in store today? I don't know. What I do know is that I've been awake since about 4:15. And I say about 4:15 because I heard a half-hour chime. I heard a half-hour chime. And I'd been awake for what felt like 10-15 minutes. And then I heard 4 o'clock. I did stay in bed till I think about 5:30. So yeah, just wide awake. Wide awake. Hey ho. So yeah, I don't really know what's in store today. Probably some housework, I think. Some tidying, some dusting. I've got a wash on, so I'll certainly be putting the wash I did yesterday away because that's now dry. Yeah. Will I be making any videos today? I don't know. Not sure. We'll see. I'll see you later. Good afternoon. It's Tuesday afternoon. I'm concluding this week's vlogs today because I've got a busy day tomorrow and I'm probably not going to be able to fit in a vlog and add it to the video and upload as well because I've got stuff that's happening tomorrow, which I'll tell you about in next week's vlogs. Yeah, this afternoon, well, rewind a little bit. I decided to do my burgers for lunch, so I thought I'll video them. So you've got that coming up as well. It's the soya burgers, delicious. And then this afternoon we've had really, really changeable weather, torrential downpours. Hurrah, do the garden a lot of good. Some natural feed for the garden. There's nothing like rain to make the garden grow. So I'm expecting a growth spurt. It's also going to really help bed my seed in. That's if it hasn't washed it all away. No, it shouldn't have done because the trees and the shrubs sort of break up the rainfall. So it shouldn't have washed it away. I'll check it at some point and see that it's okay and put more seed down if need be. And apparently it's going to be, the forecast is changeable for the next week or so. And of course this weekend is Easter. And I have an Easter egg, don't I? Yes, thank you. So yeah, busy day. I need to finish off my vlog now and finish off editing the burger video, which should be out hopefully Thursday, if all is well with it. Yeah, so I'm going to say goodbye for now. We're eating shortly. It's feeling really chilly as well. Oof. And I'm hoping that I get a good night's sleep tonight. Yeah, because I'm feeling rather tired now, to be honest. I was editing and at one point I could have actually just closed my eyes and fallen asleep at the computer. Hey ho. So thanks for watching. Sorry it's been such a long one, but there's been stuff going on and naturally I want to share it with you. So thank you. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.